MBS. Hey, man. Got my boy in the building. What up, Keo?
Yo, the Stardom Sitem show, week 2. Yeah, man. Yeah, week 2, man. It wasn't a good week last week because I lost in every league.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm ready for a bounce back for this week.
Whoa, big fella. He's playing against me. I gotta pump the brakes on all that. We gonna see what's up, though. We gonna see what's up. Well, hopefully, on Thursday night you started James Cook, the Buffalo defense, because they went crazy. James Cook 3 touchdowns. Devon Achane had a big game as well. But definitely before we even get the show started, I want to say thoughts and prayers with Tua Tagovailoa. Took another big shot, man. Another concussion. Before we get started, what's your thoughts on that, real quick?
I'll probably address it more on this Tuesday on the MBS show, but I think the thing that I have an issue with, problem with, is like people, media, fans, even people from the MBS team, like saying that his career's over, he's done, he'll never play again. It's like I'm more about, we wish the guy better? Can he get healthy? Can we worry about his health more? You know, mention more positive things about that instead of wondering what's going to happen with his future. That's what I'm more of concern about. And I'm pretty sure people are surprised for me saying that, because people would think that I would say, "Oh yeah, his career's done." I'm more of about, hey, let the guy get better, let him get healthy, and then we could question what's going to happen next for the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I know you. He Keo said a mouthful just now. I'm one of the ones that said, maybe he needs to consider retiring, but it's in the same breath of what you're saying. I'm not worried about him playing for the Miami Dolphins. As a dad and somebody that's in a marriage,
Mhm.
I definitely think that he should worry about his health more so than football. At this point, we've seen Tua take some big shots in football, man. I think he's had like 3 or 4 concussions, and this one you
Mhm.
could tell right away. He stiffed up, he stiffened up, and it didn't look good. And
Yeah.
I'm just concerned about his health. I hope that he gets better. If he comes back to the football field, great. But if he never plays football again, of course, I know Dolphin fans, me being an SEC guy, watching him go toe to toe with LSU in the years that he played, of course, we're going to miss that. But as a man, I want him to get healthy. So, Tua, I want you to know from the MBS squad, from your boy Trix, the sports junkie, man, get yourself healthy. Football should be
Mhm.
on the back burner right now. That should not be a concern of yours. Get yourself healthy because your family's gonna need
Like
you, my man.
like Mike McDaniel said, he's the starting quarterback of his family.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact. So that's what I said. I think he should give up football in a sense. Why I said I think he should consider it is because his health should come first, not football.
Right,
I'm not
right.
worried about the Dolphins,
Okay.
but But of course, like I said, they played that night, and Tua got injured, got a concussion. But Achan went crazy. James Cook went crazy. Josh Allen didn't have the best game, only 11 fantasy points. Last week we helped you. I went crazy on my stud of the week. I had Cooper Cup telling everybody he was gonna have a big game. He
Who
had
did
a
I
monster
have?
game. Who you had?
I don't know.
Ah, you don't remember who your stud of the week was? Come
My
on,
dad. I
man.
think my dad of the week was Justin Herbert.
Oh man, my dud of the week was Caleb Williams, and I hit it right on the head. I told y'all, listen to your boy. I'm gonna help you with your lineup. And then my sleeper was Sam Darnold, I believe. No, no, I lie. My sleeper was Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones had a pretty good game, a touchdown, 100 yards. Your boy was on it
But
last week. Let's
well,
see
I
if
was right about my sleeper. I had Jamison Williams.
you did. Jameson Williams, that's good. That was a good pick. So hopefully we can help you with your lineup today. If you don't catch us live on here and you want to ask us questions, you can get at me on Twitter at I am TrueX. Message me. I'm gonna answer you back. If you got hit me up on Instagram, it's at the Sports Junkie. Keo, give me your handles real quick if they need your information as far as fantasy concerns.
Well, you could just hit us up on MBS Central on the YouTube channel. We do respond messages on there, on the MBS Twitter page, and also on the MBS Instagram page, or my personal Twitter on at I hate Keo. Um, yeah. so
Yeah.
yeah, you could definitely contact us on there if you have any questions.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get it popping. We're gonna help you with your lineup real quick. We'll go to quarterback. Top five quarterbacks on the week. Who you starting?
Number 5 for me, I'm going with Jared Goff, man, at number 5 for me. Jared Goff, Detroit Lions had a really good game, man. I like what I saw from Jared Goff. Jamison Williams had a big game. I kind of expected more from, obviously Sam Laporta, who I got him on my fantasy team, and Ramon St. Brown. Um, Gibbs got involved. I think Goff is going to have a better game this weekend. He's going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a rematch against Baker Mayfield, who also had a good game this past weekend. Also, I think this game's going to be a shootout. So definitely, Jared Goff is a guy to go with at number 5. Number 4 is the same guy, Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield, I'm happy to see what Baker is doing right now, man, because a lot of people have written him off. Last year he came back. People feel like this year, after signing his contract, people think he's gonna come back reality. First game, he shows to everybody that, hey, I'm still one of them guys, and it just look how bad Deshaun Watson looks right now, man. Imagine if Baker was still with Cleveland. So shout out to Baker, man. I think this is going to be a good game. I think this is going to be one of the high scoring games of this weekend, the weekend. So I got Baker at number 4 for me. Number 3 for me, I'm going with my guy, Dak Prescott. I think he had a quiet game. It was a statement win what he did against the Browns. I think this weekend, I think in Dallas, man, they're gonna show out in Dallas against the New Orleans Saints, man. So expect them to get CD the ball, Brandon Cooks. Um, Hopefully Jake Ferguson is healthy enough and be able to play. So I got Dak at my number 3. Coming in at number 2 for me, I had Jaden Daniels in my top 3 last weekend, and I'm gonna have him in there again. The reason why is they are playing the miserable, pathetic of a defense called the New York Giants. And if Jaden Williams ain't gonna have a good game, this is the game he's gonna have it against the New York Giants. This will probably be his best fantasy game of the season, and I would highly recommend somebody to start Jaden Daniels right now because I got him at number 2, and coming in number 1 for me for the second straight week. I got him ranked number 1 last week, and that's Kyler Murray, man. Kyler Murray was huge last weekend against Buffalo. A good show out, obviously, but Marvin Harrison. A lot of people was disappointed that he didn't get him involved. I like this matchup between the Rams, man, against the Rams, and Kyler, I think Kyler Murray is gonna outplay Matthew Stafford in this game. I think he'll put up better fantasy numbers. I expect Kyler to hit 25 to the 30 point range in fantasy football this weekend. So I got Kyler Murray at number one.
Okay, so me and Keo, so when we definitely agree on something, I would definitely tell y'all go out there and start those guys because me and Keo often don't agree. I'll start with Jaden Daniels at 5. I agree. Jaden Daniels' running ability against the New York Giants is big for me. I would definitely start him. The Giants struggled a lot against the Vikings last week. I expect a lot of struggles. Even if they were to win this game, at the end of the day, Jaden Daniels should have a good game, win or loss, win or lose today. I mean, so I'm gonna go with Jaden Daniels. Coming in number 4, I got Justin Herbert, man. I know that they're leading a lot on the run, but did you watch Derek Carr last week versus the Panthers? Oh my God, there's no way I can sit Justin Herbert in this matchup. If there was ever a dream scenario, this is it. So I'm going with Justin Herbert at number 4. At number 3, I got your guy. No, he's not elite, but he's here. Brock Purdy. Oh my
The elite
God.
Brock Purdy. Let's put that.
No Christian McCaffrey for everybody out there. He has been put on IR. He will miss 4 games. So I expect Purdy, to let that thing go this week and get Ayuk involved. Ayuk had the offseason that he had. Debo had a pretty good week. Kittle was okay, could do better. But I think Purdy has a good week this week because if they don't, I will say it, they are on upset alert. They are on upset alert. The Vikings, yes, I know I wasn't high on
Oh,
them going into the season, but the Niners are upset alert because the Vikings may be putting things together. Number 2 and number 1, I'm with you 1,000%. I think the highest scoring game, which we're going to talk about in a second, this is one of the nominees. I got the Lions versus the Bucks, and it's Golf versus Baker Mayfield. You know who was the highest scoring quarterback last week for fantasy? Baker Mayfield. I just think Baker going up against the Lions. I know the Lions have a pretty good defense, but Baker Mayfield, man, he got Mike Evans. He got Chris Godwin. Now he got Mr. McMillan. He got Bucky Irvin White in the backfield. Cade Otter at tight end. He has a lot of weapons. I like me some Baker Mayfield. And of course, Jared Goff with the emergence of Jamison Williams and then the 2 running backs, the two-headed monster, Montgomery and Gibbs, along with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then your guy, Sam Laporta. Why would I not start him? So that rounds out my top 5. And I think all
Baker
those guys, huh?
Baker Mayfield. Last week he threw the ball to my guy Rashad White, who's on my fantasy team 6 times. He needs to throw to him 10 more times tomorrow.
Oh, chill with
Woo!
all
Let's
that. Chill with
go.
all that.
For everybody don't know, man, in the MBS Fantasy League, we've been doing this for a long time. I actually play, X this weekend, so
Yes,
hopefully
sir.
hopefully he has a horrible weekend.
No, we need the dubs. We need the dubs. We need the dubs. 1-0, trying to push it to 2-0. All right. Let's get to the running backs. Top 5 running backs on the day.
My top five, number five for me, I'm gonna start off with Najee Harris at number one. Um, a lot of people have been questioning about, hey, should I go after Najee in the draft because of Jalen Warren? He actually dominated in touches in week one against the line. He had 20 carries, 70 yards, caught 1 pass. He was targeted 2 times. He definitely had more production than Jalen Warren, man. I got him at five. Number four for me, I'm going with Jerome Ford, man. I think everything going on with Deshaun Watson. I think they need to focus on that running game going against Jacksonville, man. The team that was, they played really well against Miami. And normally when the Browns running backs are out with no Nick Chubb, normally the backups do well. Like we seen a couple years ago when Kareem Hunt did well. I think this is another case, man. I think Jerome Ford is a good option at your number four. Number three for me, man. For those you don't know right now, I guess we'll go through the injury report later towards the show. Christian McCaffrey did not play. Christian McCaffrey did not play last weekend. They announced, I think, yesterday that he will not be available for game two. Today, they came out and announced that they have placed him on IR. So basically, the rule with IR, which X confirmed it with me, when you put on IR, you miss, 4 games. You will miss 4 games. So he'll be out 4 straight weeks. It is a serious injury. It's a tendonitis slash Achilles. So the Niners are very cautious with this. So anybody that has Christian McCaffrey, it ain't good. Unless you got his backup running back, the guy that I have at number three, Mr. Jordan Mason, man. Jordan Mason was a huge component in that game against the Jets. 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown. They had no answer for him at all, especially how good the Jets defense is. And I think they're going to continue that, man. And I like seeing young players get the opportunity, man. And I think this is the most production he's ever had since his high school game. So good to see Jordan Mason get a production like that. So I got him at number three, and I think he will do well once again. So I got him at three. Coming at number two for me, Ramondre Stevenson at number two. I like this guy, man. He did really well against the Bengals, who they pulled off the upset against. I got him at two, and rounding off number one. You'll probably notice a trend because I have Jaden Daniels in my top three, or I had him at number two. Number one, it ain't Austin Eckler. It's Brian Robinson, man.
Okay.
I like Brian Robinson in this game. Um, Robinson had over 17 points in PPR fantasy standards, man. I think it's a tough matchup. He may not carry the ball a lot, but he catches the ball a lot. So look
Hmm.
for Jaden Daniels to throw him the ball. If you have Daniels and Robinson, double points for you, man. So I got him at number one.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna start with my number five, where you mentioned one of my guys is Ramondre Stevenson. I like me some Ramondre Stevenson this week. I like the way he played last week, and this week
Mm.
he's at home against the Seattle Seahawks, who did look good defensively, but that was against a rookie quarterback. Jacoby Brissett, to me, he's gonna manage the game correctly. We saw it last week against the Bengals as they put up the upset. I think Stevenson has another good game running and catching the ball for the Patriots. Number four, I'm with you, Jordan Mason. How can I not start this guy? No Christian McCaffrey, no problem. They went crazy against the Jets, or I should say he went crazy against the Jets. Big gaudy numbers, expecting to do the same thing. Coming in number three, we just talked about Stevenson having a good game against the Bengals. I'm going Isaiah Pacheco. I think Isaiah Pacheco, he runs hard. He may have a good game against the Bengals. I'm not liking. I picked the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Keo knows it. The whole NBS team knows that I picked them the last 2 years because I just think they have a really good, promising roster. But Jamar Chase comes out. You could see he's clearly irritated with the Bengals. T. Higgins, they're saying, is he faking the injury or not? He's clearly irritated with the Bengals. I don't know what to make of the Bengals right now. Unless they make it right sooner than later, I'm real concerned about this team. So I think Isaiah Pacheco goes crazy. I think the Chiefs win that game, which I said on the NBS show, and I think Pacheco's one of those big reasons why. Coming number two, a guy that a lot of people had big hopes for, and last week he did score in the opening drive, but after that it wasn't much more. I think against the Raiders this week he has a big game. I'm going Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has a monster game this week. I think he puts people back on notice that he's still Derrick Henry and he's still a force to be reckoned with in
Mm.
fantasy. And at number one, I'm not just saying this. I hope I'm right about this. J.K.
Oh
Dobbins
my God.
versus the Carolina Panthers. I think Dobbins proved last week that he should be the, I don't want to say the only guy carrying the ball for the Chargers, but definitely get majority of the touches. He don't have the breakaway speed he once had, but he does know how to find the hole and make a move and get a big burst here and there. So I'm going J.K. Dobbins at number one. I expect him to have a big game, over 100 yards, maybe a couple of scores. So he's my number one running back on this week.
One
All
thing
right,
about
Keo. What?
I was gonna say one thing about Dobbins. He's a he's a good pick, but he's a really risky pick also, man. Because
That's a
I
fact.
worry because all the injuries he's had. Week one, man, he went ham, man. But that's one thing that I just want to see how much he could keep up doing this. But yeah, I just want to say that about Dobbins though. But we could start off with our wide receivers.
Go ahead. You got it. The floor is yours.
Okay, my number five wide receiver for me, I'm going with Zay Flowers at number
That's a
five.
good one. That's a good one.
I told X I've been really high with Zay Flowers before the football season even started. Zar Zay Flowers, 10 targets, 6 catches, 37 yards, but his fantasy numbers wasn't all that great because we seen a lot of screen passes. I mean, I hope to see more, of 10-yard passes, crossing routes, type of
And a
completions like,
touchdown that was missed. Lamar
yeah,
Jackson
man,
had him wide open.
yeah, that was his fault. So I think they'll continue to go to Zay. Um, everybody, a lot of people like Isaiah Likely, but I just think that I think when it comes to wide receivers, Zay Flowers is the target that Lamar normally goes for. So I got him at five. Number four, I've had an opportunity countless times this week to land this guy, and he's due for a big game. And the matchup is very favorable, man. It's scary Terry McLaurin, man.
Oh, please, baby, please.
I gotta be honest.
Please have a monster game.
I don't want him to have a monster game, but something tells me he's gonna have a good game. And I had opportunities to land this guy, man. It was in the snap of my hands, but then I was like, nah, I need to stay away from him.
Oh,
But this is
wow.
but this is one of the matches where I really like for him though, man. Terry McLaurin, he has had 1,000 yards every year throughout his career, from what I know.
Except for his rookie year. Except for his
Yeah,
rookie
okay,
season.
rookie year. I think he's like a number two wide receiver in fantasy. He was very quiet in week one, only two catches for 17 yards, four targets. This should be the week where Terry McLaurin goes off, and it's against the New York Giants, man. So last week the Giants, man, they allowed Justin Jefferson and Jalen Naylor, Jordan Addison to score 31 fantasy points in PPR settings. Um, what? But Lauren has a good chance to do this, and he's at home also. So I definitely got him at number four at for my wide receivers. Coming at number three for me, I'm gonna bring up Drake London at number three. I actually have the Falcons beating the Eagles this weekend. Not a good
Crazy.
start. Not a good start for the Falcons. This is one of them bounce back games that they need to have, so I got them at three. Number two, is the game with the high scoring game. I got Chris Godwin, man. I think Baker's going to look for Chris Godwin a lot. He had 8 catches for 83 yards. I think throughout the years, Godwin's numbers has been decreasing. I think this year he could bounce back and be the dangerous Chris Godwin that we know. And coming at number one, it's been confirmed that he will be playing. I am going with Malik Neighbors, the number one guy to start.
Okay.
Um, I like this matchup for Neighbors. Neighbors had an okay NFL debut in Week 1 against the Vikings. He had 5 catches for 66 yards. He was at target 7 times. Just remember, you had Daniel Jones throwing him the ball. Just imagine if it was somebody else. Um, Commanders defense, man. The Commanders defense gave fantasy owners -3 points.
Yeah, it was crazy last week. That was
My
crazy.
ass, my ass actually picked up the Commanders defense. I was gonna start them. Then when I was like, oh hell no, I'm dropping them, man. See you later. But yeah, Malik Neighbors, man, I think he's gonna have a huge game this weekend. And I think this week the rookies will show out this week. So I got Malik at number one.
I'm glad you said that because let's start with number 5. Rookie week, baby. We heard the griping, we heard all the noise. I think Marvin Harrison is coming in at number 5 for me. I think he has a good game this week, and Mike may be kicking himself for trading Marvin Harrison after this week. I think Marvin Harrison is going to have a really good week this week. So I'm going with him at number 5. Look for him to break out and get maybe, dare I say, 10 targets in this game. We'll see, though. We'll
Mm,
see. Coming in at number 4, another rookie. A guy that scored last week. And no, Keo, I'm not being biased. I'm actually picking somebody against the Panthers. I got Lad McConkey. I know Wes is going to like that one. I just think that there's something brewing with him and Justin Herbert. I had Justin Herbert in my top 5. I think Lad McConkey has a good game this week against the Panthers, and he may go over 100 yards in this one. So you definitely want to start him. Coming in number 3, I'm with Q on this one. Zay Flowers going up against the Raiders. The Raiders didn't look good last week versus the Chargers. We know Baltimore is way more explosive than the Chargers are, even though the Chargers ran the football good last week. You got to deal with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I just look for Zay Flowers to get over the top of that defense and score some points. Yeah, golly, I think you said what, 10 targets last week? That's
yeah.
insane. That's insane. So 10 targets. I look for him to get in the end zone this week. Zay Flowers comes in number 3. At number 2, I got a guy that, like I said, struggled last week, but I think this week he gets back into the routine of things. Purdy's going to be looking for him. I got Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk scoring this game versus the Minnesota Vikings. I think he has a good game this week, so I'm going Brandon Ayuk at number 2. And number 1 is a guy I had some reservations about before the year started, but it came out and said they're not going to handle it until the year is over with. And I'm going with Rasheed Rice at number 1. Dude had 9 targets
Oh,
last week. 9 targets. Clearly it's looking like he's Patrick Mahomes' favorite target over there in Kansas City outside of Travis Kelce. I'm talking about the wide receivers. So I think Rice has another big game this week, and he'll probably get in the end zone versus the Cincinnati Bengals, who I'm definitely concerned about. So he comes at number 1 for me. All right, Keel, let's go to the tight ends.
all right. So tight ends. There's two tight ends to me, in my opinion. You probably think there might be more. There's two tight ends for me that you just start regardless, man. And that's Travis Kelsey and that's Sam Laporta. Those are the two main guys.
Mark Andrews, no.
Nah, man, because
One bad
somebody
game and you kick Andrews out?
out of there. Um, but
Wow.
now,
Trey McBride out?
yeah.
Wow. I don't agree with Keo. They'll start those guys no matter what. If it doesn't work out, yeah, I'd much rather take a chance with them than take a chance with anybody else. So I'm just putting it out there.
So number 5 for me, I'm going with the Steelers tight end Pat Freiermuth. He's been a very he's been a tight end that has been mentioned a lot throughout the years,
Got
and
that money too.
yeah, so he's been a very quiet tight end, a very underrated. He hasn't had that breakout season. So I like Freiermuth at number 5. Number 4 for me, Dalton Schultz at number 4. Man, I like Dalton Schultz this year as a tight end. If I could trade Sam Laporta and I could and if I know I got Dalton Schultz, I'll be okay, man. I got him at number 4. Number 3 for me, I'm going with Taysom Hill at number 3. I think he's going to be utilized a lot in this game against the Cowboys. And I won't be surprised if Taysom scores a touchdown. I got him at number 3. Number 2, I'm going with Brock Bowers at number 2. I think Brock Bowers is a tight end. That's gonna surprise a lot of people this year, though, man. So I like Bowers at number 2, and at number 1, I'm going with Isaiah Likely, man.
Woo!
I know people jumping the gun right now. They might say, "Hey, it's one game," but the way he played that game, the way Lamar was targeting him, the way that he was, the yards after the catch. I like what I saw from Isaiah Likely, man, and I got him at number 1 this weekend.
I ain't mad at that at all, Q. I'm not. All right, coming in number 5, I got Kobe Parkinson. We know that Puka Nakuma's out. We know that you're gonna have to try to stop Cooper Cup. So I think Parkinson's gonna have a good game for the Rams this week. That's why I would have it number 5. Coming number 4, I got Dallas Goddard of the Eagles. AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley. It's a lot of Devonta Smith. It's a lot of you know opportunities for those guys, but that leaves Goddard being one on one. I think Goddard has a good week this week versus the Falcons. I like him a lot. And number 3, I got Frymuth. I'm 1,000% with you. It seems like Justin Fields is gonna constantly look for this guy, or run the football. He's not really looking to go deep or throw the intermediate routes. So I think Frymuth has a good game this week. So I'm gonna go with him at number 3. At number 2, I'm with you, Keo. The rookies, the trend continues. Brock Bowers. You know Devontae Adams is gonna get his targets. But Brock Bowers, to me, man, he may be on pace, man. I dare I say, to win offensive rookie of the year, because I think he may catch 100
Mm.
balls. I'm gonna tell you, I think he may catch 100. The big obstacle is gonna be what will those quarterbacks do? What will those big time wide receivers do? But I'm really liking Brock Bowers, and Gardner Minshew's gonna sling that thing around the field. So, and I think they're gonna be down big in this game, so they're gonna have to throw the ball. So I got Brock Bowers at number 2. At number 1, though, I'm with you, Isaiah Likely. How could I not start him at number 1 after what he just did? Isaiah Likely, he's making a name for himself in the NFL. That started back last year, and I think the trend just continues. At this point, Isaiah Likely should be owned in 100% of fantasy football leagues. He's that dynamic. The plays he made last week were incredible versus the Chiefs defense. I like me some Isaiah Likely, so he comes at number 1. All right, Keel, let's get to these tight ends. Not
We
tight ends,
know.
defense. I'm sorry.
Okay, defense, man. Obviously, the elite defense. You don't start those ones, but I think number 5 defense I would start is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 5. I like that combo with Pat Queen, T.J. Watt. You got Minka in the secondary, going against the Denver Broncos. I got them at number 5. Number 4 for me, I'm going with the New York Jets at number 4. I like the Jets, man. I think they will have a bounce back game. I think this is definitely an easy win for them, and I think the defense will definitely take advantage of this game. So I got the Jets at number 4. Number 3, number 3 for me, I'm going with the Colts.
Wow. Wow.
Against the Green Bay Packers, man. You got Malik Willis as your starting quarterback. That's good for my defense.
Wow.
I don't trust Malik Willis at all. I trust Malik Willis as much as I trust Daniel Jones. That's how much I trust Malik Willis. and I just think it's going to be different, though, man. And I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on him. Colts defense is going to go right at him, so I got him at number three. Number two, a defense that I picked up and dropped Washington's defense is the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks, they are playing against the New England Patriots. Um, I don't know what happened in that game. The Patriots found a way to win. The game is in New England, but I think Seahawks defense is always good, man. So I got them at my number two defense. And the number one defense to start, I was talking crazy and disrespecting them this past week. I mean, when we were doing our predictions during before the NFL season started, it's the LA Chargers, man.
Yeah. Last place, he said. Last place.
Don't worry. That's still gonna happen. But
Hey,
they are
2-0,
playing
2-0. They
but they
win.
are but they are playing against the probably the worst team in the NFL. One of the worst teams, and that's the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, I don't see things much different than you. Come on, I'm gonna go quick. Seahawks versus the Patriots. I like that matchup. I'm gonna go five just because I think Jacoby Brissett can manage to take the game, not turn over the ball. They'll run the football, short play action, short runs, then hit you with play action, and then like I said, I just don't think they'll have like big yards and big points, but nonetheless, the Seahawks won't give up like negative something. They'll be, they may give up a few points, but it won't be crazy. So I got them at five. At number four, I got the New York Jets. Little concerns because last week, man, Jordan Mason went crazy on them. They couldn't stop the run. Hopefully this week they can clear that up. They learn from their last week mistakes and they do better because if they give up a lot of yards to Tajay Spears and Tony P, it may be a long afternoon for those guys. But I am going to go with the Jets defense at four. At number three, I got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Raiders. I think the Ravens are going to get up big in this game. The Raiders are going to try to throw the ball, try to catch back up, and you might get some pick sixes, some strip sacks for touchdowns, fumbles for touchdowns. So I'm going to go with the Ravens at three. At number two, I love what I saw from this defense, and you said it. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They gave Kirk Cousins and that Atlanta Falcons offense all kind of problems. TJ Watt, if you were going up for 1 week, I thought he was the MVP, the defensive MVP this year because he went crazy. Yeah, he didn't have all the most sacks, but he had Kirk Cousins flustered for sure in that game. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers at number two. At number one, I'm like Kikio. The Chargers versus the Panthers. I think anybody who plays the Panthers, that's gonna be my number one defense every week. The Panthers, man, just have so much stuff to work on. And until they get it fixed, I mean, teams are just gonna be having, a field day on those guys. So I got the Chargers at number one. Let's go to kickers, Keo.
Okay, kickers. I'm going with Evan McPherson at number five. I got Matt Prater at four. I got Ben Group from the Saints at three. I like Brandon Aubrey at two, and I like the Diners kicker Moody at one.
Okay, okay. I got Bates at five. I think the Lions is going to score a lot of points. So I got him at five. I got Zerline just because the Jets, I look for them to score some points, whether it's scoring touchdowns or kicking field goals. I think he'll have a good day. Like you said last week, I'm going to say pause before I go, but Cameron Dicker, he'll have a good game versus the Panthers. So I'm going to go with Dicker at number three. At number two, I got Jake Elliott on Monday night versus the Falcons. The Eagles are getting field goal range enough. They'll have a big game. So I got Jake Elliott. And then finally, Harrison Butker. I told you I think the Chiefs are going to win that game. And he may kick 3 or 4 field goals in that game. So I got Harrison Butker. All right, Keo. Give us five people. We need to go to the waiver wire right now. If these guys are on the waiver wire, you need to pick them up, start them. They can help you win some games this week and in the future.
Jordan Mason is one of them. Um, I would go with Justin Fields as another guy.
Ah, okay.
Um, uh, let me s- uh, let me see who else. Those are that might be just two. Those two guys just stand out to me right now.
Okay, I'll go next then. Okay. Um, there's a few guys. Isaiah Likely is still not owned in 100% of the leagues. I think you should go out there and get him. He, to me, I would start him over a lot of guys. Outside of the elite guys, I think I would start Isaiah Likely over everybody else. I just really like his upside. I think Lamar Jackson and him are very comfortable with one another. And like I said, Lamar Jackson, you think about it, game on the line, who did he throw the ball to? Of all the receivers on the field, not Zay Flowers, not Mark Andrews, and into coverage too. It wasn't like Isaiah Likely was wide open. He threw it into coverage, and Isaiah Likely makes the play. He just steps out of bounds while making the play. I like me some Isaiah Likely. I think he should be owned in 100% of the leagues, so you should go out and pick him up. Rashid Shaheed of the Saints. I know Olave gets all the the glitz and glamour, but Rashid Shaheed played better than him last week. He had five targets. I just think being that he's only owned in about 60% of leagues, he's such a big play component. He's kind of like Jameson Williams. If you can get him right now, he could definitely be a great flex play for you. So I'll go out there and get Rashid Shaheed. Another guy I think should be owned in 100% of leagues. BTJ. I keep telling everybody that. Brian Thomas Jr. I really like what I saw from that guy. Keo was trying to get him from me. People keep saying, oh, X, he only had, 40 some yards, a touchdown, four catches. But that was against Jalen Ramsey. That wasn't against a scrub. He was doing that against Jalen Ramsey. And he had a big a bomb that he was about to catch, and Jalen Ramsey just grabbed him and tackled him basically. So it was a big PI. I like Brian Thomas. I think that you need to go out there and get him, and he could definitely help your fantasy roster. So I would go out and get him. And then finally, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield led all quarterbacks last week in fantasy. I think that maybe we were wrong about the Falcons, Keo. Maybe the Bucks win this division. Maybe Baker's figured it out. What we've been expecting from him since he got drafted, and then like we said about Sam Darnold, another guy drafted in the top three. He got weapons. Justin Jefferson, Addison's not even playing right now. Hawkinson's not playing right now. When those guys come back, he's gonna have weapons. I would go pick up Darnold too, because Darnold's a much better start than other people to me, and Baker Mayfield as well. I would start those two quarterbacks over a lot of quarterbacks like a Kirk Cousins, who I was not impressed with last week at all. So that's just a couple of them that I would go out there and pick up. Maybe to
Wait,
sharpen that.
I got
Go ahead.
two.
Okay.
People may think that you're crazy for saying his name because who he's playing for, but if you look at the amount of targets this guy has had in week one, you're gonna be like, okay, you're right. Maybe I should go. Wendell Robinson from the Giants, man.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones for some reason targets him a lot, and the last guy I would pick up is Adam Lazard. Um, he Garrett Wilson. He has a tough assignment with Ladarius Sneed coming up in week two. So and Aaron Rodgers loves to throw it to Lazard, man. So that's another two that I would give you.
Okay. And Zach Charbonnet, I would say, he's another guy. Walker's not going to be playing this week, most likely. You want to go out there and get Zach Charbonnet. He can definitely help you win this week. So I would go with him as another guy you can pick up. All right, Keo. The name of the show is called Startem Sitem. Let's go. You name five. I'll tell you if you should start him or sit him, and I'll name five and tell you if, and then you tell me if we should start him or sit him.
All right, let's go with the first one that we have. I'm going to a tight end,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with um Cole Komet from the Chicago Bears.
Oh no, I'm sitting him. Oh no. I don't like I know shout out to Ryan Leaf. He hit us up
Yeah.
on X. And I said, bro, Caleb Williams is giving me Ryan Leaf vibes. Mentally,
Yeah,
I don't
go
know if
ahead and
he's fit.
clarify that.
All I said was, let me say this. Bring the camera closer to your boy. Listen here. I'm not saying Caleb Williams is not talented. He's super talented. I'm worried about his mental makeup. At the end of the last season, to me, he fell apart at USC. And I'm here to tell you that was a big concern. That was a red flag for me. Once I see a red flag, I gotta see, not saying he can't shake out of it, can't bounce back up out of it, but I am concerned. And then week one, what I saw, I know he's a rookie. I give him a pass as far as last week, but it's a trend from last year into this year. As far as his last college year into his first NFL game, he didn't even throw for 100 yards. And he has the weapons, so we can't sit there and say, "Oh, you don't have the weapons." He has the weapons. I think Caleb Williams. I have to see it before I buy in. Right now, I'm a little concerned. Ryan Leaf, shout out to you for hitting us up, but I said what I said, and if you feel different, come on the show and we gonna talk about it, man. But no,
All
I'm not
right.
starting cold commit.
All right. Speaking of the guy that's going to be throwing to him, and it is Caleb Williams, man. Are you
Bro,
starting?
no, I'm sitting him. I just told y'all go get Baker Mayfield. Go get Baker. Go get Sam Darnold. I know Darnold's going against the Niners, but I don't trust Caleb Williams. Against the Houston Texans defense, I think it could be a long night for him, man. Those two ends are going to get up the field, bro. And Hunter and Anderson. So I don't know how I love this matchup.
More,
It is
more,
prime time, so we're going to see.
more hot takes about Caleb Williams. I see.
Oh man, I'm just hey, you got to prove me wrong, big dog.
Okay. All right. All right. My next guy, I got Zach Moss.
Mm. Flex play, I'll start him. As a flex, I would start Zach Moss.
All right. Next guy I got for you is let me see. Give me a second. Okay, next guy, Chuba Hubbard from the Panthers.
Come on, man. I'm not starting that boy. I can't even believe he was traded recently and somebody took a trade with him in the trade. That's crazy. At the end of the day, man, I don't want no Panthers players. I'm staying away from all of them. Xavier Leggett, Bryce Young, Adam Thielen, Chuba Hubbard, all those guys. I'm good on all that, man. I don't want none of those dudes. Miles Sanders, even him, like, I don't know. I just don't want none of those guys. Hopefully it works out for them. They will be down a lot in games, so maybe you want to pick them up, get some cheap fantasy points. But I'm good on that.
Okay, the last guy I got for you is a guy that I actually traded away. He got some tough matchup coming up this weekend. Um, Calvin Ridley.
Ooh, I
They're
would.
playing against the Jets.
I know. I would. I would sit him. I would sit him. It's not Calvin Ridley. What I saw from Will Levis this past week, it just wasn't it. He was just running the football a little bit too much for my liking. Um, I don't know. I just didn't love his performance, and I think that's big. That's a big red flag for me. So I would say no. I'm gonna stay away from Calvin Ridley. There's a lot of other guys I would rather like, or Rashid Shaheed. I would start Rashid Shaheed over Calvin Ridley for sure.
Yeah,
So
and Calvin
n-
Ridley, whoever's defending him, if it's DJ Reed or Sauce Gardner, that's a tough matchup for him. So
right, right. All right. Start us sit Deshaun Watson. We had a big conversation about him this past week. Deshaun Watson, man. He's gonna be taking on the where I got the Brown,
Jags.
the Jags. What you thinking?
I'm sorry, Deshaun. I know a lot of you guys, wasn't that, you know, happy about his performance. Feel like he's done. But I think Deshaun will be all right, man. I would start Deshaun.
Okay. A guy that I hope does well, but I am concerned. Jaden Reed of the Green Bay Packers. He's also questionable, and Jordan Love is not playing. What we doing?
I would sit him. I would sit
Okay.
Jaden Reed. Like I said, Malik Willis. That ain't good, man.
Okay, okay. A guy that had a really big game last week. Can he continue it? Going against Cincinnati. Xavier Worthy. Would you start or sit him?
I would sit him.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Got you.
I would sit him though, man. He had like certain plays that was towards him. I just feel like Mahomes wasn't targeting him a lot, like the gadget plays that they had for him. Yeah, and he's gonna have those. But as far as like to give me like a consistent overall fantasy week, I have to sit him.
Okay, okay. Um, Tajay Spears.
I'm sitting him.
Okay. Think that
Going
you
against the
struggle him
Jets,
too.
going against the Jets defense. I think Jets dudes are gonna bounce back.
Okay, and last but not least, let's go with the defense gave up the most fantasy points last week as far as from a quarterback. Can Daniel Jones actually have a good game versus the Washington Commanders?
Yes, he will. I
You
think
gonna
he will.
start him?
Yeah, I'll start him.
Wow. I checked off what you
I,
said now. Don't
I'm
go
go-
back on it.
so wait a minute. I'll ask you. You would you start Daniel Jones over Caleb Williams?
Oh yeah, Daniel Jones over Caleb Williams. Yeah.
Damn, you
I'm not
hate
starting Caleb.
damn.
Caleb Williams, if I started Caleb Williams, it would be over Bryce Young,
Wow.
Bo Nix.
Brissett.
I'm trying to think who else. Will Levis. That's probably it. That's
Damn,
probably the
you
only
think of
three.
Caleb Williams like that?
Man, I don't like what I saw. He does have weapons, but I'm concerned. I really am. All right, Keo, let's get to social media questions. I got five that they hit me up about. Now, shout out to everybody that inboxes me, man. It really means a lot. I know y'all may be thinking I'm helping y'all, but I really do it. I appreciate it, man. And it's like this. It's like I have like a little core group that hits me up on Facebook, man. And y'all inbox me, and just the fact that y'all even take my opinion seriously, like it's really dope to me. So I wanted to let y'all know from the bottom of my heart, thank y'all. First, my man Jeff, man, he wants to know. It's a two quarterback league he plays in. Should he start Malik Willis or Will Levis, or should he go with Christian Kirk instead of a quarterback?
Wait, say that again.
It's a two quarterback league. He said.
Hmm.
He said he could start Malik Willis because he had Jordan Love. He said Malik Willis, Will Levis, or should he just go ahead and start Christian Kirk?
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, bad.
14-man league. He said.
I hate to do this, man, but I actually would start Malik Willis, man. Because he actually can run the ball. He got the weapons around him. Matt LaFleur is probably going to put up a good game plan, man. But if you know you're a horrible quarterback when you cannot get 10 fantasy points, because that's an average, I guess, like a starting wide receiver would get. So if you can't get 10 fantasy points, you a bad quarterback. And I think Malik Willis can do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I would start Malik Willis in this situation. Will Levis has a really tough matchup against the Jets, Sauce Gardner, and those boys. Christian Kirk, I'm just not starting a receiver, like you said, over a quarterback. Quarterbacks are just, they can score so many fantasy points so fast. So I'm going to go with Malik Willis, especially the fact that he can run. I'm with you 1,000%. Okay, shout out to my boy Jerome, man. He said in a flex play, should he start Zach Charbonnet or Ezekiel Elliott?
I'm going with Zeke, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going with Zeke. Not only because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I think Zeke will get some red zone opportunities. Zeke actually he played decent though, man. I was kind of impressed with what
He
I saw
did.
from Zeke. So I'll roll with Zeke with the Cowboys offense that they got.
Nah, CJ, as much as I agree with Q, as far as I did think Zeke was a lot more impressive than I thought he was going to be, he looked a lot more healthier as well. Just Zach Charbonnet's going to get all the carries. Walker's out for this week. You got to go Charbonnet in this one. It's easy for me. All right, start two. Shout out to my girl Nat, man. She wanted to know. Nat wanted to know Jordan Mason, Josh Jacobs, or Joe Mixon. She needs to start two of them.
That's easy, man. Jordan Mason, man.
She got to start two.
oh, Jordan Mason and who?
Josh Jacobs or and Joe Mixon.
I'm going with Josh Jacobs and Jordan Mason. I think
Ooh, Mixon had a big game last week.
I don't know if he can keep it up though, man. I think Jacobs he's very dangerous because Malik Willis he likes to run those screenplays to those running backs, and he runs the ball well. Game in Green Bay, I think Jacobs gonna do good, and then Mason they gonna feed him the ball. He got 28 carries the last game. I think he's not gonna continue it though, man. I got Mason and Josh Jacobs.
The crazy thing is, I thought Kill for sure would go Mixon and Mason. I'm with you. I'm going Mason and Jacobs. I agree. Everything you
Mhm.
said. Malik Willis starting that quarterback. I think they're gonna rely more on the running game in this one. They'll throw Jaden Reed back there some. They'll definitely get Josh Jacobs involved, especially with Malik Willis running a little bit. So I'm going Josh Jacobs as well. I think he'll have a better game than Mixon this week. Okay, pick three. Shout out to my boy Chad, man. He wants to know Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, and George Pickens. He needs you to pick three of them.
Malik Neighbors.
Marvin Harrison,
I'll
Chris
go.
Olave, and
I,
George Pickens.
I'm going with Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Chris Olave.
Wow. Wow. Okay. 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 Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me just make sure I'm with you on this. I looking at it at first glance, I was. Yeah, George Pickens gets the guy I keep telling y'all outside of us going there. Patrick Sertan Jr. is just that guy. George Pickens, I don't love Justin Fields throwing the football. I'm going to go with you on this one. I'm going Malik Neighbors, Chris Olave, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Even though Olave has a tough matchup as well, I just look for Olave to have a chance to break out a little bit more because of Rashid Shaheed. So I'm going to go Olave. All right, Keo, last one. Shout out to my girl Britt. She wants to know. This is a good one, Keo. I think this is gonna be hard for you. Which quarterback should she start? Joe Burrow versus the Chiefs or Anthony Richardson versus the Packers?
oh, I think both of them are good starts. Damn. I'm going with Joe Burrow, man.
Wow.
The reason why
Man.
I'm going with Joe Burrow, we everybody view Joe Burrow as the second best quarterback in the league. Everybody view Joe as an elite quarterback, and uh, we got to treat him like one. So I know he had a bad game, under 10 points in that game. I was disappointed. I got Joe Burrow on my team, but Joe Burrow, there's no way he's gonna have games like this, and I think he will bounce back. And there's no better way to bounce back against the Kansas City Chiefs. And obviously, Jamar Chase has came out and said that, hey, I won't be having discussing any long term contracts during this season. So you could put that to rest also. So I think the Bengals will come bounce back against the Chiefs, man. I like the Bengals against the Chiefs. I'm not high on Anthony Richardson like everybody else is. Um, I think he's all right. I think he's decent. But I think that he might have one of those quiet games, and this could possibly be one of them. So I'm starting Joe Burrow.
Okay, I'm actually going the opposite direction. I'm going Anthony Richardson. I can pick Burrow to win MVP. Like I said, I just don't love what the coach. What the Bengals are doing. I just think they're all over the place, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, they have to play against Patrick Mahomes and company. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with Anthony Richardson within this one. The kid can just run. So that right there, that dual threat helps him out so much in this matchup. Yeah, I'm gonna go Anthony Richardson. All right, Keo. Our favorite segment, our sleeper, our dud, and of course our stud of the week. Keo, who's your sleeper of the week?
My sleeper of the week this week, I am going with Brandon Cooks for my sleeper of the week.
Oh, repaying the
Brandon
Saints.
Cooks, sleeper of the week.
Wow.
Yeah, revenge will be sweet.
Wow. Okay. I'm kind of shocked by that one. I didn't think he was going that direction. All right. I'm gonna go Daniel Jones as my sleeper of the week. I think
Wow.
I think Daniel Jones could have a good game this week. If he doesn't have a good game against the Washington Commanders, bruh, it's time for him to really hang it up. Like for real. Like I'm not even trying to be funny. It's time for him to move on. Maybe be a backup somewhere. But that starting days are over for me. So I'm gonna go sleep of the week, Daniel Jones. All right, who's the dud of the week, Keo? Dud. Not gonna do anything that last week I had Caleb Williams. I could go Caleb Williams again, but we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna pick on the kid at this point. So who you guys your dud of the week?
My dud of the week, it's gonna be Trevor Lawrence as my dud of the week
Wow. Come on,
against the
man.
Cleveland Browns, man. Defense will show up in this game, man. And I think that Jacksonville they will struggle to move the ball. So I'm taking Trevor Lawrence as my dud of the week.
Okay. Okay. My dud of the week will go to. No, I hate to do it, man. Shout out to my brother from another mother, man, Mr. C, bruh. I could be completely wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but Derek Carr, bruh. Derek Carr. I'm all Saints, bro, but I'm just not a believer. They win this week, though. I will be on the bandwagon saying I'm not a bandwagon. Saints are my team, but I will be on the bandwagon saying my apologies, Derek Carr. You really are that guy. But I think for this week, I'm gonna say a dud week. I think he drops the ball. He doesn't play well against the Cowboys, and he's my dud of the week. All right, Keo. Last week I had, excuse me, Cooper Cup. Who's your stud of the week this week?
My stud of the week will be on the Monday night game. I'm going with Kirk Cousins as my stud of the week, man. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, he had a bad game. I'm not too high on the Eagles defense. He got the weapons that he needs, man, and he got a good running back. Uh, I think Kirk Cousins. I expect him to throw over 300 and get at least 3 touchdowns.
Okay. Okay. I got last week I had a receiver. This week I have a receiver. I got a stud receiver though. I'm going with Amon Ross St. Brown. I really believe he's gonna have a big game for the Lions this week versus the Buccaneers. Um, the Bucks are gonna put up points as well, but I think Amon Ra goes crazy. I think he actually gets double-digit catches this week versus the Bucks, and I think he might get a score. He'll be over 100. It'll be big time performance, similar to what Cooper Cup did the last week. I got Amon Ra St. Brown this week. All right, Keo. Anything else you want to touch on this week?
Yeah, that's about it, man. Just players that's gonna be out this weekend. Jordan Addison. Um, Jordan Addison won't be available. Who else won't be available?
Kenneth
Obviously,
Walker.
yeah, Kenneth Walker, Christian McCaffrey won't be available. We know Raheem Mostert didn't play. Just those are just a couple players that will not be available right now. There are some players like game time decisions, like
Yeah,
Jake
AJ
Bergen.
Brown is questionable.
Yeah, man. So just be a lookout for that. So for the most part, I think everybody it will be playing.
Okay, well, shout out to you, man. Let's get to these shout outs real quick.
All right, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that supports the show, and the best of luck to your fantasy team, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate that.
Well, except you.
Wow, me and Keo, y'all, we playing up two big matchups in the MBS league and then my homeboy Mr. C's league. So, I'm trying to get both of them dubs. If I can only get one, I want that MBS one though. I want that MBS one. I need that one in my back pocket, man, to go 2-0, baby. 2-0. But we appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't yet, man, please go subscribe to the brand, man. We working extremely hard. We got some fire things lined up. I need to give a Keo, man. We need to start getting back on these interviews, man. People's been hitting me up like, what y'all doing? Where's the interviews? We need these interviews to come back and pop off, man. Whether it's battle rap or sports, but definitely we're gonna get it popping. But like I always tell y'all, man, if you lose, you have nobody but to blame but yourself, because you gotta trust yourself. But if you win, like Drake said, man, thank us later. This has been the Stardom Sitem Show on NBS Central. Go subscribe to the brand again, and we out. Peace.
Peace.